Do you feel like your body is slowing down, even though your spirit feels young? Or like you're losing energy faster than you used to, and you're not sure why? You're not alone. And today, we're going to change that. Hi there. My name is Marcus Smart. Welcome to the Marcus Smart channel. I'm 67 years old, and I believe age is just a number. Here on this channel, we explore simple, powerful ways to live healthier, move easier, and stay independent every day. Whether you're 60, 70, or beyond, if you've been feeling tired, achy, or less energetic lately, today's video is just for you. We're going to uncover the everyday things that quietly steal your strength and what you can do each morning to feel vibrant again. Let's take back your energy, one small habit at a time. Asterisk, and here are 4 common foods that make you tired and achy after 60. Especially the 4th one you never expected, and what to eat instead. Have you ever had one of those mornings where you wake up and everything just feels heavy? Like your joints don't want to move, your brain's still in bed, and your energy is nowhere to be found? You didn't do anything unusual the day before. No mountain climbing or chasing grandkids around for hours. Yet, you feel like you've aged 10 years overnight. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. In fact, so many people over 60 feel this way that we often brush it off as just getting older. But what if I told you it's not just age? What if part of that sluggishness, those random aches, and that drained feeling might actually be coming from what's on your plate? It's easy to overlook. We tend to eat the same kinds of foods we've eaten for years. The familiar, the convenient, the comforting. But our bodies change. And some of the most common foods that we've always thought were harmless, or even healthy, can start to wear us down, especially after 60. In this video, we're going to talk about 4 everyday foods that might be quietly stealing your energy, your clarity, and even your independence. And more importantly, I'll share simple, satisfying alternatives that can help you feel lighter, clearer, and more alive again. Let's start with one that's in almost everyone's fridge. Dairy. Now, I know, cheese lovers, don't panic. I'm not here to ruin your joy. But hear me out. As we age, our bodies produce less of the enzyme that helps break down lactose, the sugar in milk. And when we can't digest it properly, dairy can trigger bloating, gas, inflammation, and even joint pain. You might not even realize it's connected. Maybe you just feel off after breakfast, or your knees ache a little more than usual after your afternoon coffee and cream. And it's not just about lactose. Some dairy products are also highly processed, loaded with hormones or additives that your body might be more sensitive to now than it used to be. That extra inflammation builds up quietly, and over time, it can leave you feeling slower, stiffer, and more tired than you need to be. But the good news is, you don't have to give up all your favorites. Try swapping out regular milk for unsweetened almond milk or oat milk. Both are creamy and gentle on the stomach. If you love cheese, go for smaller amounts of aged cheeses like Parmesan, which are naturally lower in lactose. And when you want something cool and creamy, coconut yogurt with some berries can be just as satisfying as ice cream, but without the crash afterward. Now let's talk about something even sneakier: added sugar. Sugar has a way of slipping into everything: your morning cereal, your healthy granola bars, even that spaghetti sauce you love. And while a little sweetness now and then is perfectly fine, many of us are eating way more than we realize. The problem is, sugar gives you a quick burst of energy and then drops you like a rock. That afternoon slump, the foggy thinking, the sudden need for a nap, sugar may be to blame. It also increases inflammation in the body, which makes any existing pain or stiffness feel worse. And the worst part, the more sugar you eat, the more your body craves it, like a cycle that's hard to break. But breaking it is possible, and it doesn't have to be painful. Start by noticing. Read labels. Reach for foods with natural sweetness, like fresh fruit, instead of sugary snacks. Instead of sweetening your tea with 2 spoons of sugar, try honey or cinnamon. And when you do indulge in dessert, savor it slowly. When we're mindful, we actually enjoy it more and need less of it. These little changes don't sound like much, but they add up. You'll notice your energy stays steadier throughout the day. Your thinking feels clearer. Your sleep may even improve. And those random aches that used to feel like just getting older, they might start fading into the background. It's not magic. It's just giving your body what it needs and taking away what slows it down. Now that we've taken a look at dairy and sugar, let's keep going. If you've ever felt groggy after lunch or noticed your joints seem to ache more after dinner, it might not just be the weather or age catching up with you. It could actually be coming from what's on your plate, especially if it includes this next common culprit, processed meats. Now, before you think I'm here to take away your bacon or favorite deli sandwich, let's slow down and unpack this. Processed meats, things like bacon, sausage, ham, salami, hot dogs, and even some turkey slices, are convenient, flavorful, and easy to toss into a quick meal. But many of these meats are loaded with preservatives like nitrates and nitrites, which are added to keep them shelf-stable and looking fresh. Unfortunately, those same additives have been linked to inflammation, which is something we want less of, especially as we age. Why does inflammation matter so much? Because it doesn't just show up as joint pain. It's also behind fatigue, brain fog, digestive issues, and even mood swings. It's like a slow-burning fire in the body, and processed meats are like tossing in more fuel. Here's what's worse. Processed meats are often high in sodium too. And too much sodium can make us feel bloated, puffy, or heavy. Not exactly how we want to feel heading into retirement. But here's the good news. You don't need to cut out meat altogether. You just need to make a shift toward cleaner, simpler options. Instead of reaching for packaged deli slices, try roasting your own turkey breast or chicken at home and slicing it for sandwiches. Choose lean cuts of meat that aren't processed, like a grilled salmon fillet or a simple roasted chicken thigh. Want a meatless option? Lentils, beans, and tofu are surprisingly filling and great sources of protein. They're also easy on the body and support energy, digestion, and brain health. And if you still crave that savory bite that processed meats offer, try seasoning your whole foods more generously. Fresh herbs, garlic, smoked paprika, and achy. Drizzle of olive oil can create just as much flavor without the side effects. Speaking of which, that brings us to another sneaky energy thief hiding in your kitchen right now. Refined oils. These are the oils we've been told are heart healthy for decades. Vegetable oil, canola oil, soybean oil, corn oil. They're cheap, they're everywhere, and they're used in nearly all fast foods and packaged snacks. But here's the thing. These oils are heavily processed, stripped of nutrients, and high in omega-6 fatty acids, which, when consumed in excess, contribute to chronic inflammation in the body. Yes, that word again, inflammation. And over time, that means more joint pain, lower energy, slower recovery after activity, and even increased risk of disease. What's more, these oils oxidize easily when heated, especially during frying or long cooking, producing compounds that can damage cells and make your body work harder just to feel normal. So what can you do? Replace those refined oils with ones that are more stable and nourishing. Extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, and coconut oil are all great alternatives. Use them for cooking, dressing salads, or even finishing a dish with. Flavor.olive oil, for example, is not only anti-inflammatory, it also supports brain health and heart health, making it a perfect match for anyone looking to stay sharp and strong after 60. A little drizzle on steamed veggies or whole grain toast can go a long way. The best part? These swaps don't just help your body, they also make your food taste better, richer, smoother, more satisfying. When you begin choosing foods that fuel your body instead of fighting it, the change is subtle at first. Maybe you sleep better, or your knees don't complain when you stand. But keep going, and you'll start to notice real shifts. Your energy stretches farther. Your clarity returns. That heavy, achy feeling starts to lift out, and that, right there, is how we start to take our independence back, not with giant leaps, but with quiet, consistent changes. Now, if you've ever noticed yourself reaching for something sweet in the afternoon, maybe a cookie with your tea, or a slice of cake after dinner, you're not alone. Sugar cravings are common, especially as we get older and our energy naturally starts to dip. But here's the thing. Refined sugar is one of the biggest energy thieves hiding in plain sight. Sure, it gives you a quick burst of energy. That's why it feels so satisfying in the moment. But the crash that follows? That's when the trouble starts. Suddenly, you're feeling sluggish, irritable, or like you need a nap, even though you just ate. And over time, this roller coaster of blood sugar highs and lows wears you down. It affects your mood, your focus, your sleep, and yes, your joints too. Refined sugar also drives inflammation, the kind that settles into your body and makes everyday activities feel harder. Climbing stairs, bending down, getting in and out of a car, it all starts to feel like work. And if you have arthritis or chronic pain, sugar can make the symptoms flare even more. The tricky part is, sugar hides in places you wouldn't expect. Not just cookies and candy, but also in salad dressings, pasta sauces, breads, even some healthy granola bars and yogurts. So if you're trying to feel better, one of the best things you can do is start checking those labels. But cutting sugar doesn't mean cutting joy. In fact, there are so many delicious swaps that can satisfy your sweet tooth without stealing your energy. Try fresh fruits like berries, apples, or a banana with cinnamon. Or reach for a small piece of dark chocolate, the kind with 70% cocoa or more. Not only is it lower in sugar, but it's also packed with antioxidants that support your brain. And heart. Another great option? Make your own treats using natural sweeteners like raw honey or dates, so you control how much sugar goes in. A homemade oatmeal cookie with oats, mashed banana, and a few raisins is way kinder to your body than a processed store-bought one. And if you've been eating sugar regularly, give yourself grace. You don't need to go cold turkey overnight. Start by swapping one sugary snack a day for a fruit-based one. Then build from there. Over time, your taste buds adjust, and you'll be surprised at how sweet a ripe peach or a handful of grapes can be. Finally, let's talk about a food that sounds innocent, but often sneaks into our diets more than we think. White bread and refined carbs. These are things like white rice, regular pasta, most store-bought breads, crackers, and baked goods made with white flour. Why are these a problem? Because they act almost like sugar once inside your body. They break down quickly, spike your blood sugar, and leave you feeling drained shortly after. And just like sugar, They contribute to inflammation and joint stiffness. These foods lack the fiber, vitamins, and minerals your body needs to function at its best, especially after 60, when digestion slows and nutrient absorption isn't quite what it used to be. But again, the solution isn't to go without. It's to upgrade. Choose whole grain options instead. Things like oats, brown rice, quinoa, or sprouted grain bread. These are complex carbs, meaning they digest more slowly. Keep your blood sugar steady and fuel your energy throughout the day. One of the easiest switches you can make. Start your morning with a bowl of oatmeal, topped with chia seeds and berries, instead of toast or sugary cereal. You'll stay fuller longer, and your joints will thank you. If you enjoy pasta, try whole wheat or lentil-based versions. If you love rice, mix in some wild rice or switch to a grain like farro. The key isn't perfection, it's intention. Little by little, these changes add up to a body that feels lighter, more mobile, and more energized. And that's really the heart of today's message. Small changes make big impacts. We're not here to give up the foods we love. We're here to reclaim our energy, reduce daily aches, and feel free in our own bodies again, even after 60. Because when you feel better, you live better. You move more. You laugh more. You say yes to that walk, that weekend trip, that lunch with friends. You don't think twice about bending to pick something up or standing to cook your favorite meal. So if you've been feeling tired or stiff, don't write it off as just aging. Look at your plate. That's where real change begins. And now you have the tools and the power to choose foods that love you back. If this video helped you or gave you something to think about, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's one food you're going to swap this week? And if you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe. We're building a space here for thriving, not just surviving. After 60. Thanks for spending this time with me. And remember, your best years are not behind you. They're right here, in every mindful choice you make. Here's to health, freedom, and feeling amazing at any age.